I watched a lady get her hair ripped off in a video, and she was bleeding. She got scalped.
Wait,
why?
From where?
Who the fuck?
Like, welcome to I'm Telling Mom, the podcast. You know what? It's been a while since we did like a high energy welcome to. Lately I've been doing Clace's just Landon's normal. This
do
isn't
high
part of the
energy
intro
all the time.
This is I want to do high energy
I do high energy
but now I want to do a high energy.
No, give him a show,
Now
Mason.
I gotta do a
God
Clace.
damn.
All right.
Get the popcorn ready.
Welcome to I'm Telling Mom, the podcast about three brothers catching up, playing games, and finding joy in other people's pain. Pain's probably the wrong word. Finding joy in other people's demise. Dead people. We're talking about dead people. Today's episode is about odd deaths.
Odd deaths.
If you remember from last week, at the very end, we spun a wheel, and the episode today is all about odd deaths.
Misfortune. The Wheel of Misfortune, because it's
there's
gonna.
There's some good stuff on there.
No, it's all great stuff, but it's the great misfortunate kind of stuff.
I'm Mason. Clace is in an abandoned office building, forcing people to fight to the death for his new Netflix series called The Office: Rebirth.
Yeah.
I will watch that, Clace.
Thank
I love
you.
that.
Thank you. I'm working really hard. We've only had a couple of accidents.
What's the big twist at the end?
I can't tell you. I can't give that away. You know this.
Great. Real creative.
Good, yeah, good.
I
good one,
love
Clace.
that.
And
we watched when we watch other podcasters do their thing. I'm like, we can totally come up with good stuff. What's the big twist at the end of your show, Clace? Oh, I can't tell you that. All right, moving on.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna sit here until Clace
through the roof.
improvs some answer, some twist.
No, I can improv an answer. It's just I'm gonna let you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mason, can you give me Mason? Can you give me the plot line again? It's The Office Rebirth, where I'm basically making people fight to the death.
This isn't a show, by the way. This is a live action. People think it's a show, but it's real. You kidnap people, you put them in an abandoned office building, and you force them to fight to the death, and then shoot it as a Netflix series.
Right. And
what's the twist?
They have weapons, right? Or no? Remind me about my show.
It's
Mason
just
told you.
In an office building. You don't provide them with anything that wouldn't be in an office building. They got to fend for themselves. It's like Hunger Games in an office building.
Who's grabbing the stapler gun? That's my question.
So, okay, you want to know the twist, and I didn't want to tell you at first, but I'll go. You pressured me into it, so I'll tell you. I'll give you the twist. I forget his name, but do you remember that weird flying dragon from the Never-Ending Story? Do you remember
Falcor?
You know his name, Falcor?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't even know what Never-Ending Story is, so I'm already lost.
Oh, Landon, you should Google it. You should Google this dragon.
We're not going to talk about that.
You should Google what this dragon looks like. So Landon, it's a 1990s childhood story. You should know this. Anyway, Falcor ends up winning, and he was never a part of the original cast. He smashed into the warehouse, complete accident, and ended up.
I set this up as it's not like a show, it's like real life.
I understand.
And so Clace goes
straight
to Falcor.
No. This is
Dragon.
You wanted to know the twist. You wanted to know the twist. So you're welcome.
Twist is it's not real life.
No,
it's actually
it is. You just took my comedy bit and made it a hyper realistic scenario, and you made it not funny. It was funny when I told it because of the ironic nature of it, and then you just exposed it for what it is.
So the punchline Claes, but your punchline was right at the very
No,
first
it
thing
wasn't
you
a
said.
punchline.
The Falcor part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't.
Have you guys seen the Never-Ending Story?
It wasn't a punchline. It wasn't a punchline.
So where's the joke?
You're right. You're so
Why
right.
does there have to be a joke? I'm just saying.
You just
but
said
you're right.
there was humor
funny-
in what
the
you're talking
funny-
about.
I thought it was funny because of the Never-Ending Story dragon, Landon. You made it not funny by not knowing who he is, by the way.
So you're saying
You've
your humor
never
was
seen-
right
That part was
off the
funnier.
bat with the dragon
Landon,
coming in.
you've never seen the Never-Ending Story.
And maybe some of our listeners haven't either. They don't need to Google the dragon to hear about it.
I feel like if you know what the dragon looks like, it makes it funnier.
All right, so that was Clace's.
I told you it was
his,
going to let you
yeah.
down, but you forced me into it.
Well,
And
we
then,
did.
listen, this
And
is
I'm glad
no,
we did.
This is what I want to talk about. You forced me into it, and then you didn't support me. So this is why this is why this brotherly podcast fails, because you set me up and you're like, all right, we're gonna sit here until Clace does this. We're gonna put him on the spot. And then we're just gonna shit
man.
all over him, no matter what
Well,
he tells us. That's
This is
what
why
happened.
Clace.
I was prepared to like what you had to say. I didn't like what you had to say. So I'm sorry.
This is
My
why
original-
Clace gives the cop-out answer
Right.
of...
I know myself.
I
if you-
can't
I
tell
can't
you.
give that away.
I knew myself. Here's a new
Do
twist.
you guys wanna hear
Here's a new
Landon-
twist. They all whip their dicks out, and it ends up turning into an orgy.
Yes. I wanted Brenda to whip out her dildo and smack
that is-
somebody in there. That's what I wanted, Clay.
That's such a better
Classic.
bit than Falcor from
Why-
the Never-Ending Story.
Why does it
Sprinkle
have to
some
go
sexual humor
Why
for
does
the
it have
millennials
to go
and we're in.
sexual? Why does it have to go that way?
Why
Because
couldn't the
it have to
dragon
be
get
sexual?
That would have been
Clay,
funny.
The problem is okay, in improv, we create
I
a
don't
world,
want-
okay?
I don't
and
want-
part of the world has to be like maintained, you know? We made a world where you were
You're not-
in real life forcing people to kill each other in real life,
If
which
you
was
had
the
had-
joke. And then Clace is like, and then fucking Spider-Man drops in and starts killing everyone.
Why can't there be a non-realistic crossover? I think that's just as entertaining as anything.
Because it defeats the whole purpose of the real life people killing each
All
other.
right, we're gonna rein it back
now
in.
it's just a show.
We're gonna rein it back in.
And then there's
I did
Landon
put Clace on the
pulling us
spot for
back
that.
in. There's Landon
Because we
then
need to get
ending
pulled
the
back
bit,
at some point.
ending the bit and
Yeah.
moving us into the next section, just like what we talked about earlier. All
The
right.
next section, which
I
is what
mean-
Landon is doing, Landon is filling some guy with sand.
I'm filling some guy with sand.
You're filling.
That's all I
filling
wrote down.
him with sand.
You're filling some guy
I'm not
with
burying
sand.
this guy in sand.
No.
I am filling his
You
image
have a
with
guy.
sand.
You have a guy. You have some sand.
You
And
met a
you're
guy.
filling the guy with the sand.
With sand.
I think
That'll
we need
be
to
a weird
expand on this
mummification
situation.
process.
I don't think
Sure.
we need to. I think that's all. I think that's
Landon,
all we
where
need.
were you?
Really.
Did you find the body of sand? Or sorry, did you find the? Is he alive? Let's
Clay,
start there.
it's
Is
the
he
latest,
alive?
You know, so there's new fads that happen every year. There's the pop-up yogas, there's the goat things, there's there's new fads, and this year's fad is mummification through stuffing your body with sand. We all want to be remembered in
Okay.
some way or other, and we want to throw it back this year with an Egyptian throwback. No more pyramids, just eat sand, and you will be remembered in a millennia.
You see how quickly Landon came up with that, and it
There's no.
It wasn't
I'm waiting for a
Falcor?
punch. I'm waiting for a punchline.
I think
Where
I
where
think
is
that
it,
one
Landon?
didn't
Bring
need
it in.
like the one line. It didn't need the one liner. I think the whole spiel of like it being a sponsored like this is a thing now 2021 kids.
yeah, it had like
Is he alive?
I think there's a
Landon,
little bit of
you're
humor
filling
in it.
him with
Scenario.
sand. Landon, you're filling him with sand. You just said that the new thing is for you to eat sand. So what is it? Is he eating sand or are you filling him with sand?
It's either or. I'm just saying the fad is mummification, and we're bringing that back from the Egyptian
So is he?
times.
Did
This
he
is
die?
the year.
And you're now mummifying him, or is he alive?
Well,
and
I would
eating
assume
sand?
the man is fucking dead. I'm filling him with sand, Clace.
Hey, it wasn't clear. Wasn't clear in your background story.
You want to try getting filled with sand and see how you're feeling afterwards? We can figure that out.
This is a scenario where you're filling a guy with sand, so sorry for not assuming the most realistic response.
That he would be dead.
Fill someone with sand?
That he would be dead is the most realistic response.
Can we talk about what
what's Mason
I was envisioning?
Yeah, what are you doing,
Mason?
I was envisioning... Oh, I'm just Mason. I was envisioning with Landon filling someone up with sand, just somebody standing on a beach with their head just facing the sky, mouth open, funnel in their mouth, and Landon's just pouring sand in.
Yeah. No. Don't you dare say yeah. In Mason's scenario, he's alive. You just yelled at me for 5 minutes about how the dude is dead and how I'm stupid for thinking otherwise.
A funnel with sand being poured in your throat, the dude's gonna be alive?
He's standing
temporarily.
He's standing with his mouth open, head to the sky.
I'm not saying my guy. I'm not saying my guy was dead right at the very start. I'm saying he is dying in this fashion of sand filling.
This is the stupidest conversation I've had in years.
Well, you know what? We're all trying to work on our comedy and improv skills. I think this was a great first step, Clace. And
you both are ridiculous. I for the past 15
you're upset
minutes
with your dragon
No. I am a little bit. But I also, for the past 15 minutes, have been berated by both of you while Mason literally pisses in Landon's mouth, and they both fucking enjoy it and love it to the fullest. Why am I the one that's constantly shit on in this podcast?
That was really good. That was some good improv.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it from either of you. I don't want it from either of you. It's too late. You've ruined it.
It took you 20 minutes to come up with
Mason pissing in my mouth. I love it.
No, but the funny part is that you love the piss. You're into it. That's the funny part.
All right, we don't have to keep talking about that, but
all right. I'll go ahead and jump into my first game if you'd like. So, as we've established at the beginning of the episode, this episode is about odd deaths, and it's literally impossible to talk about the subject of dying in strange ways without talking about what is it?
Our sponsor!
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's leading up to on this.
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat!
You can't...
Right.
The two go hand in hand. Not our sponsor at all. So I have created a game today for you called Finish Him.
Okay.
In which I will. These are all real. I found some of the weirdest finishers, fatalities in the Mortal Kombat universe, and I will tell you how it starts. And I want each of you to try to figure out how it ends.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you what really happens, and I'll give points to whoever was closest or whoever's I liked more.
Okay.
What's one of the characters' name from Mortal Kombat? I don't think I ever really played that.
Helga.
Kung Lao.
Helga?
Do you remember that Clay Fighters game? That Clay Fighters game
on
Nintendo that we played?
Oh, Helga the Viking.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was actually a pretty fun game.
Mason, what's one of the characters' names?
Kung Lao.
So Kung Lao pulls up into a bus and runs over one of the female characters' hair, and she gets scalped that way. And that's how she dies.
Mason,
Hey, Clace, that was a full circle joke. It's good when you think of humor to be thinking about things in the past to be able to bring back.
If you want me to be honest, bring back. You just said the same thing twice. You just said the same thing twice. You didn't make it a punchline. You just said it then.
Literally like a pillar of comedy is bringing back a joke.
No, I get it. But there was no twist to it. There was the same. All right, here's what I'm thinking though.
Doesn't have to. Just the fact that you bring something back that happened 20 minutes ago. Just the fact that you bring it back is a funny.
Okay,
don't tell me to keep going.
Okay, Mortal Kombat. Are you talking about the live action Mortal Kombat Or are you talking about the video games, the animated games?
No, so I'm not talking about the movies. I'm talking about the games themselves.
Good. Okay.
After, for anybody that doesn't know, you're fighting someone, and then if you stun them, you can input this crazy hard chain of buttons, and if you do it correctly, then boom, you're treated with this crazy, gory, graphic fatality where you kill someone in a really brutal way. Now we're all on the same page. And the first one that we're going to talk about is Bo Rai Cho in Mortal Kombat Deception. He picks up a torch. He kind of flicks it across the ground like a match to light it. And then, what does he do?
That's all you're going to give us? Because that could go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And after a few, you'll start getting like, okay, these are crazy.
He goes to the other guy who is stunned, and he opens his mouth and says, "Have an ice cream cone," and stuffs it in the guy's mouth, and then he dies by eating a torch.
Okay, that's a very good guess.
Is that the voice, like the same voice you think that the character uses, Landon? I'm asking if you would do some
Mason,
voice. No, Mason.
I was just gonna say, Steven, put a 1990s NES modification to what I'm about to say. Have an ice cream cone. And that's what this Mortal Kombat character would have
exactly what Bo Rai Cho sounds like in the game.
All right, so he lights it. His opponent's stunned across from him. I'm gonna say he does a flip. First of all, for no reason, notably.
Sure.
It's like, you didn't need to do the flip, but he does the flip. He does a front flip, to clarify. He flips the torch around, taps it twice at his feet, so like just a little click, click right at his feet, and then rams the lighted torch right through his stomach. So it's like, flips it, click, click, woo, right in the stomach.
The flame end into the stomach, or the...
Flame in. No. Flame end into the stomach, but he clicks the ground at his feet twice with the other end.
That part's important.
It is important. It's the ritual.
So I've picked this, guys. The title of this episode is Odd Deaths. These are going to be the weird ones.
Not like regular deaths.
No,
gory deaths.
So
yeah.
So in this case, Bo Rai Cho picks up a torch, lights it on the ground, and turns around, holds it behind him, and lets loose an explosive fart that burns the enemy to death.
Wow. Okay, that was a lot.
I was not expecting
that. Was a twist
that.
I wasn't expecting at all. Yeah.
We got Quan Chi over here in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. He jumps up on an enemy, so he's standing on his shoulders. Can you picture that?
Yeah. Wait. Mm-hmm. Which is he facing the same way as the lower guy is facing?
Yeah, good question, Clays. They're both facing the same direction.
Okay.
Quan Chi is on top of the guy's shoulders, standing there. What does he do?
So he's standing on top of this guy that he's about to kill, and he yells, "Ah!" And he just reaches down and grabs the guy's head and pulls it off. And, and then he fills the guys up with sand. Clays, how about that?
Comedy.
It's a bring back. He did comedy. He's a comedy
That one
guy.
I won't say comedy, but we're just gonna bring that one back. So that's gonna be my answer.
Much wow.
Meanwhile,
so
we got Clays over here like, where's the joke? I don't get sand. Where's the
really
joke? It wasn't, but it was a bring back, which brought some humor to it.
Mason, I think my pinky toe is not quite covered in shit yet. So if you want to do a little bit more, then I'll be fully covered.
That was good. You're okay. So we're finding out where in the comedy world each of us stands. Landon is really good at bringbacks. He'll bring something back that happened 5 years ago. Clay is really good at analogies. He's going to take something and then just reword it in a perfect way. Mason's just loud as shit, which arguably isn't even funny.
It is funny, Mason.
Arguably is also not a word, but...
Mason, it's very funny when you're very loud because you're very pissed off. That is what some of the best moments of this podcast is when you get on fire when Mason gets mad.
You're right.
By the way, so this is 2 episodes ago, so episode 99. When we got Mason, you and I got into it about the fruit something or other. Do you remember that in the song? We were fighting about.
Oh yes,
we
legitimately got mad at each other.
Yeah,
maybe for the first time in this entire podcast.
No,
history.
we've definitely got mad at each other before. I know, so I missed one word. What's?
But you had
You just
said fruit.
It's your favorite fruit. Sorry, juice.
What's your favorite juice?
Right. What am I
said fruit.
I just corrected myself. Mason, listen to me. One time, listen to me. It's your favorite juice. We've got mango and apple and guava and apple. So many fucking fruits.
Okay,
how many words did I get wrong?
You got one wrong. But fuck you, I'm giving the point to Landon.
I don't care anymore.
You said it wrong and then you get mad for it.
You're an asshole.
No, but I don't know about to that level.
Here's what's funny to me. You were 100% correct. But
I know.
We were still like, I just fight because fighting's fun. So I'll get into it, but I guess in that scenario, though, I really thought I was right, but I wasn't. Okay, I'm going to answer now. So we've got the guy standing on the shoulders of another dude. All right.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I'm just going to say he falls back with the other guy. So the whole tower is just falling backwards. And right at the last second, he just slams his shoulders into the ground.
Okay,
with his feet.
Both of those are very good guesses.
A little too basic, though. It's not like
Landon, you're right. You're 100% right, but I have yet to understand really how weird we're talking.
It might take a few.
I'm trying to figure out the game for a second.
So I'm giving the point to Landon because
he rips his head off.
He jumps on an enemy, so he's standing on their shoulders, facing the same way, as we've clarified, grabs the enemy's head, pulls upwards, and the neck does not tear off. What makes this weird is the neck stretches like 4 feet, and then he falls over and dies. So that's
it?
Yeah.
I mean, I like where that was going, but so anticlimactic.
Okay, this next one. Do you guys... I know you don't know a lot about Mortal Kombat, but you've probably seen Kung Lao. He's the guy that has... He's the Asian guy that has the typical Asian hat with the super wide brim all the way around. This is in Shaolin Monks. He removes his hat, reaches in, and pulls out. So this is where I leave you.
And he's facing his enemy?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
I think... What's this guy's name?
Kung Lao.
I think Kung Lao is secretly a ravaged raccoon. So he reaches in the hat to actually pull himself out with the body of this Asian guy. You know what I'm saying? So he reaches up and he's pulling like, this is really who I am. I'm the raccoon controlling this body. And then the raccoon goes in and they do the tornado effect. And then the guy dies. And then the raccoon
keeps
crawls
getting
back up
weird.
into his brain.
So it's like a Ratatouille situation where Kung Lao is being controlled with a raccoon.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay. Huh. All right, Clace?
All right.
While Clace is thinking real quick, do you think it's actually physically real life possible to pull somebody's head off? Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure.
Because
with your human hands and not tools or anything, but pure strength.
All right.
Could you rip somebody's head? Well, I guess.
Let me set a scene for you. I have a body laying on the ground. Okay. What did you say, Landon? Landon, what did you just say to me?
I said, well, I guess a baby. I mean,
I thought that's what you said.
I guess at first when I was thinking of the question, I was thinking like an adult, but then I realized if you're just a
No, okay, even an adult, if you put yourself in the right situation for proper leverage, what I'm thinking is you have somebody laying in front of you. You, exactly like our last situation where you put your feet on their shoulders so you get that proper that proper grip, and then you just get a good grip, one hand behind the head, one hand under the chin, and you just pull while you push your feet. I think you could pull someone's head off if you're strong enough.
Lock your elbows.
Yeah.
Use your legs to
don't lift with your back, lift with your legs.
Yeah.
Everything they teach you.
I think you're right. Let's Clace, what's your answer?
Here's my answer. So he takes off his hat, he reaches in, and he pulls out a pebble, a small pebble, and just throws it at his enemy, which just casually hits him in the chest and falls down. But then just over screen, comes this massive, live rock boulder man.
The dad of the pebble.
Daddy
Boulder
pebble,
dad.
Big, right? And just, walks on screen, picks him up, pulls his feet in his head.
Jesus.
And then just casually walks off screen.
All right.
I like that answer.
Okay, Clace, I really like your answer, but you're not going to believe this. I have to give it to Landon.
Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta hear it.
So,
what?
Kung Lao removes his hat, reaches in, and pulls out not a raccoon, but a rabbit. Which he then uses to beat his enemy to death until they explode.
So he's holding a rabbit.
Does the rabbit
like
go back?
Like a baseball bat?
He's using it like a police baton, and just beats the shit out of the enemy until they explode. That's the weird part for me. I get pulling rabbit out of the hat. That's a joke, but then they explode. I didn't really understand that, but
it hops off screen and lives happily
ever
after.
Happy.
Yeah.
Right.
And it has mad rabbit sex.
As rabbits.
Okay. Rabbits have a lot of sex. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, that's why it's the saying.
Yes, sex like rabbits.
Yeah, that's the only way I know that. So I don't know any other things.
So Landon just brought up a common saying and did you guys know that?
That is exactly what just happened. Yeah. Did you guys know that pigs can't fly? What?
What? All right, shut up. Go to the next one.
So the next one is Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 9. Shang Tsung transforms into a demonic clown, pulls out a gun, aims it at the enemy, and
so I'll go. Pulls the trigger, and one of the classic flower, you pull the trigger and just a flower comes out of the gun. But then out of the flower comes a wooden stick, like a tree, a stick. But then out of the stick pops a little caterpillar, and the caterpillar actually breathes fire and toasts. But it all happens sequentially. So it's like flower, stick, caterpillar, fire.
Okay. All right, I really like it.
That's fun to picture.
Yeah,
actually.
And if that's not the answer, it should be the answer.
If that's not correct, they should revise.
Rewrite it.
First thought that I had was a classic situation where he pulls the trigger, little flag comes out that says bang, and then the bad guy that's about to get killed is standing around like John Travolta, that one scene where he's just like, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then it's the perfect timing of nothing's happening, and then just an anvil comes and smashes into the guy and he dies.
All right. I like that.
Okay. All right. So,
I like the caterpillar better.
I was 100% ready to give you the point.
Don't. Come on.
Landon comes in and takes it, and you are going to agree. There's no argument here.
It's the flag with the bang, right? That's the right part.
Shang Tsung transforms into a demonic clown, pulls out a gun, aims it at the enemy, and pulls the trigger. Confetti shoots out with a flag that says bang.
Oh my gosh.
He then pulls out a real gun and shoots the enemy in the head.
Oh, then he pulls out a
real gun and shoots him in the head?
Yeah, so then he just pulls out a second gun and shoots him in the head.
Nice. Same kind of thinking.
So, that was the last question. However, I have a bonus round for you just for fun.
Yay.
Sweet.
Again, doesn't matter because Landon's winning. So, in Mortal Kombat, you have fatalities. You know of fatalities. These are the crazy combos that you put in. That's the things we've been talking about. But Mortal Kombat throughout their entire series has always implemented alternate fatalities that do different things, and they're always called something else. So I'm going to read off 4 of them, and you are going to tell me which one is real, which one is an actual fatality put into the game. So when you kill someone, they say, fatality! It's the same thing, but they say another word for this. So, the 4 options are Babality, where the enemy turns into an infant version of themselves and then humiliates themselves in some way by like peeing on the floor or something. Option 2.
You made that up, Mason. That's pretty good.
And option 2, Animality. It allows the person, you as the character, turn into an animal and then proceed to maul the enemy in some creative way.
Okay.
Quitality. So in more recent versions, you can play online, and if your opponent rage quits, their head immediately explodes, and then their body explodes, and it's a quitality.
Oh.
Or friendship, which allows you to perform various acts of kindness and goodwill towards the enemy instead of killing them. So it's basically the opposite of a fatality.
All right. I like Babality. I think that's my favorite.
Okay.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, I'm
your
going to go
answer?
with that one. Yeah.
They're all pretty good in knowing how weird these games are. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, they all could be options. They all could be options.
They just do whatever they want in these games.
I like the last friendship one, but I don't think that's a thing in Mortal Kombat. There's not a fucking shot in hell there's a friendship one where, like, no one wins. I'm going to go with Animality, even though I don't like that one.
All right. So, this was a trick question because they're all real.
I like that even more.
Yeah, I mean, every single one of those is real.
Whoa. Well, there you go.
Good game, Mason.
Thank you.
Mason.
Thanks for making that a part of my life.
You're welcome. Hey, before we continue with this segment, we're going to take a quick ad break from our sponsor this week. Go check them out. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode.
Sponsor!
Woo!
This week's episode is brought to you by Catmaca, the campaign attempting to make art cool again. Don't think painting's cool? Brushes are made of dead trees and mongoose hair. They're literally killing off an entire species. Metal! Think expressing your feelings is dumb? Fuck you! Expressing your feelings is brutal. If all your feelings are black, drawing a picture sounds lame. You're using the corpse of a tree to vandalize another corpse of a tree. Fuck trees! Damn, are you scary? Let's get some art up in this bitch!
The organization of Catmaca does not condone or support the use of mongoose hair used to make paintbrushes.
Yeah, singing lots of songs, yeah, singing lots of songs,
So that was the episode all about odd deaths. Thank you guys so much for listening. And now, for the kind of like first official time, I think. We did it last episode, but for like the first official time, I think, we're going to spin the wheel and find out what we're doing for next week's episode.
All right, 102. Here we go.
Episode 102 is...
I forgot how long this spins.
Here we go.
We've got superhero sidekicks. For next
superhero sidekicks.
Superhero
and Landon, that's
sidekicks.
you, right?
Oh,
that's
shit,
you
that is
hosting
me.
next
I
week?
will be the
Landon.
host of superhero
hostess with
sidekicks.
the
Don't
mostest.
miss out. It's gonna be fun.
That's a good episode.
Bye.